In a quiet village nestled between rolling green hills, there lived a young man named Kiran. He was strong, clever, and full of ambition, but he was also restless. His mind never stopped racing, always thinking, always questioning. Kiran sought knowledge wherever he could find it. He read every book he could get his hands on, debated with elders, and spent hours contemplating life's great mysteries. But no matter how much he learned, he always felt something was missing. One day, news spread through the village that an old monk had arrived at the temple. It was said the monk possessed great wisdom, answering questions with words that could change a man's life. Curious and eager, Kiran made his way to the temple. He found the monk sitting under a towering banyan tree, his eyes closed in deep meditation. The monk was thin, his robes simple, but his presence was powerful. Kiran bowed slightly out of respect but wasted no time. "Master, I have many questions," Kiran said eagerly. "I have studied, debated, and thought deeply, but still, I feel lost. I want to understand life, the universe, and my place in it." The monk slowly opened his eyes and smiled. "Very well," he said. "But first, let us have some tea." The monk reached for a clay pot and poured steaming tea into a small cup. Kiran watched, waiting. The monk kept pouring even after the cup was full. The tea overflowed, spilling onto the ground. "Stop!" Kiran exclaimed. "The cup is full. It can't hold any more." The monk set the pot down and looked at Kiran. "Like this cup, your mind is full," he said calmly. "You seek wisdom, but your thoughts, doubts, and opinions leave no space for it. If you truly want to learn, you must first empty your mind." Kiran opened his mouth to reply but found no words. He had spent his entire life searching for answers, filling his mind with knowledge, but he had never once considered making space for something new. That night, he could not sleep. The monk's words echoed in his mind. The next morning, Kiran returned to the temple. But this time, he did not bring questions. Instead, he sat silently beside the monk, listening to the rustling of the leaves, the chirping of birds, and the distant sound of the river flowing. Days passed. Each morning, Kiran came and sat in silence. His mind, which had once been a storm of thoughts, slowly began to settle. For the first time in his life, he felt a deep sense of peace. One day, as the village awoke to the sound of temple bells, the monk turned to Kiran and smiled. "Now, you are ready to learn," he said. Kiran nodded, his heart light, his mind, finally, empty. And in that emptiness, he found the wisdom he had been searching for all along.